the first thing I'm going to do is measure the flour into the bowl. I'm going to use 2 cups of self-rising flour of shortening. Now let me show you what I do when I measure shortening. Now, I haven't always done this, but this is the best way to get your shortening measured without messing everything up. Now, since I'm going to be using a 1/4 of a cup, which is on this side, no, which is right here at the 2-ounce mark. I don't know if you can see that. And I'm going to need water anyway. I am going to measure water up to 3/4 of a cup, and then I'll put the shortening in until it gets to 8 ounces or 1 cup. This is cool water. Alright, there's 3/4 of a cup. Now I'll start putting shortening in it. Until it gets to the 1 cup mark, which is right there. Perfect. Okay. Now, I'll dip this shortening out of the cup. And I'll save that water because I'm going to need water for these biscuits in just a few minutes. Just going to cut this shortening in until the flour mixture is coarse and crumbly. Okay, I'm through mixing the shortening in with the flour. Now I'm going to put in a tablespoon of sugar, and 1/3 cup instant non-fat dry milk. And here's where that water comes in that I saved back. I'll start by mixing this water. I'm going to try to get a nice stiff dough that I can pat out on a floured surface. You can see it looks a little soft right now, but it's starting to stiffen up. It gets stiffer as the milk rehydrates in here. Anyway, this I'll be baking this in a skillet as soon as I get them patted out and cut. I tried doing drop biscuits in a skillet, and that didn't really work out as nicely as I thought it would. So, I mean, it was a lot easier, but the biscuits weren't that great. Okay, the dough is all mixed up right there. It's pretty soft, but I think it'll work out alright because it usually does. I'm going to add some flour. I'm still using self-rising flour so that the biscuits will be nice and well risen. Break it out on the floured surface. Put some more flour on the top of it. And I'll do a little bit of kneading, not much, because too much kneading on biscuits makes them pretty tough. So I'm just going to fold it in a few times. And then pat it out. It needs to be about 3/4 of an inch thick. Now, this is my fancy biscuit cutter. Can you see that? It's just an old tomato sauce can. I cut holes in the bottom to let air out when I cut the biscuits. Makes them the perfect size for us. They're not huge, but they're just fine. I've had this can. I don't even know how long I've had this old can. And at one point I thought that it had gotten thrown away or lost or something. And I found it again, cleaned it up, put it right back into my bucket of flour. Okay, I've got a skillet here. I'm just going to spray some pan spray in it. Pretty good, generous amount of it. Set it off to one side and start laying my biscuits in it. If you don't have pan spray, you can use shortening, but just put a thin coating of shortening on it. Now I'm going to get the rest of this cut into biscuits. A tiny bit left. I'm going to see if I can get that in here. This last one won't be as good as the rest because it won't be as tender because I'm really working it, but it's one more biscuit anyway. Okay. Now there they all are in the pan, ready to put on the stove to cook on top of the stove. Okay, putting them on this little burner here. This is what we used to cook on. I don't have a stove hooked up in here. And the biscuits are all in there, ready to be cooked. Oops, sorry. I'm going to turn this flame to medium-low. Put a lid on. And then set my timer for 10 minutes. Okay, the biscuits are ready to be turned over. I hope I didn't leave them too long or on too high of a temperature. No, they look pretty good right there. Thought some of you might be interested in this. I don't know. This is how I store my flour and cornmeal and a lot of other things. These are ice cream buckets. I got these from my sister, but you know, if you love ice cream, you can always collect these up. Anyway, they fit perfectly on a shelf, and because they're square, they take up less space. And now the unveiling. The timer went off. Take this off, set it aside, turn the heat off, and put the biscuits on a plate. Let's see how that other side looks. Okay, there's the other side, brown and golden. This plate I'm putting these on don't know if you can see this. It's an old pattern. These plates, this set of plates that I've got, used to belong to my mother-in-law, my late mother-in-law. And she had a lot of them, and they got divided among the children, including my late husband. He got some. This is the only one I have out that I'm using right now. The rest of them I've got packed away for safekeeping. Get those messed up biscuits out of the middle. They'll still be good, even though I really wrecked them. And there they are. We'll put some butter and jelly on these, or I might fry up some egg to put on them. Anyway, they make a really good breakfast, and we'll probably get 2 meals out of this batch, even though it's only 2 cups of flour, so it's pretty frugal. Also, I wanted to say that on these biscuits, if you don't want to make a floured surface, you can leave them in the bowl and then get a small bowl, just a small bowl of the flour. Get a handful, pretty good sized handful of the dough out, roll them around that flour, and then pat them out in the pan. You don't have to go to everything that I did, but this is just the way I usually do it. Thank you for watching.